There are hundreds of AI tools out there, but not all are created equal. Today, I'm going over 5 of the most popular and hyped up tools out there. These are the tools that make design accessible to beginners and can help you take your business to the next level. I'll go over the pros and cons of each and where they can shine in your workflow. So let's get into it. I'm going to start off strong with a couple of tools that you probably already have open on another browser tab right now, Gemini and ChatGPT. They both have a native image generation tool that can help you get your ideas out of your brain and onto a screen. Image generation happens from within a conversation, so there's no need to learn how to use a whole new tool. Since being introduced, image models have gone through multiple generations. Now with ChatGPT introducing Image 2.0 and Google's Nano Banana 2, you're not getting the same 6-fingered hands or the scary ghosts in the background. The tools are flexible and fast, but they have their limits. Both Gemini and ChatGPT work with a single image at a time. You describe what you want, it creates an image for you, you edit that image, and so on. The image generation is slow and kind of generic, so if you want to fine-tune the images, you'll likely have to download them and edit elsewhere. The workflow is kind of clunky once you get past the initial brainstorming step. Plus, if you use it long enough, you'll start to see that same style comes up over and over and over again. These aren't full-feature design tools. I think they work better as brainstorming tools, and that's fine. I like using it when I'm figuring out ideas for our thumbnails. It helps me work through the ideas that don't fit and get me on the right track. I try to be specific with my initial prompt and iterate until I'm somewhat happy with the outcome. Then download the image so that our designer can continue working on it from a more robust platform. Now, if you need more of a photographer, but you can't get one, Midjourney can be what you're looking for. It's known for creating high-quality visuals that don't look AI generated. For every prompt, you get 4 variations, each with a different composition and mood that you can iterate on, without having to compromise on quality for any of them. You can also take photos on your phone, upload them to Midjourney, and edit them with their AI to create professional quality visuals for your website or social media. The downside here is, again, you don't have any layout tools, so it's not a full-featured design tool. Midjourney is a professional quality image generator, but that's it. Also, the platform itself has a bit of a learning curve, but if you can get used to them, you'll get more control over your final image than ChatGPT or Gemini's image generation tools. Prompting is more structured than natural language, and learning Midjourney style will help you get the results you want. It comes in real handy for online stores looking to get quality product shots without having to pay for a professional studio or get an expensive Adobe Cloud membership. Now, all of these features do come at a cost, but it's a fairly reasonable one at just $10 per month. The output quality, on the other hand, can actually justify the cost. Canva AI is the next step up after the image generators, and it can be super helpful when used correctly. Canva already has a huge library of design templates, which has been imported into its AI tool, so the AI knows the difference between creating a post for Instagram and creating an email banner. You won't have to create a raw image and go back to resize it later. Plus, the Canva AI connects to the familiar Canva editor, so if you want to manually tweak your images, you can do that from the same tab. The downside is that Canva's AI model is still a little behind. It's definitely set to improve with Canva 2.0, but if you need really high quality images or a specific artistic style, you will have to look elsewhere. If what you want is a single flexible tool where you can create a brand kit and repurpose your images across multiple platforms, Canva is still the best place to start. Their free version still has a lot of the core features you'll need, but upgrading to the Pro plan unlocks things like brand kit features and access to Leonardo.ai's generative video for about $18 per month. To me, this beats out similar platforms like Figma that have a steeper learning curve. It gets you designing faster, and if you find that you want to work up to Figma and their AI features, you can do so with a little more design language in your pocket. But design is more than just creating images for your website or socials. There will come a time when you need to think about how you're putting it all together. and that's where Google Stitch comes in. Stitch helps you mock up what a website or app will look like before you build it. This can be really helpful if you're using a tool like Hosting or Horizons to build your site. Making a plan first and uploading images to vibe coding tools like Horizons helps you maximize your token spend and tell the AI builder exactly what you want to build. Stitch is like giving your vibe coding tool a visual guide. Now, Google Stitch, unfortunately, won't make you a logo or a social media post. It's really geared towards UX and UI design. It's also still in beta, so it might not be available in some regions, and there's the possibility that it won't be free forever. If you're using a vibe coding tool, it's important to check and see what you can upload as a reference, or if you can import code directly. If not, Stitch is really just building visuals for you, which you could do on another tool. Now, Stitch is best for the planners out there, or anyone who wants to work more closely with UX design. It's a completely free alternative to programs like Figma, able to create high-quality layouts from conversational prompts without signing up for a new account. Basically, if you can use Gemini, you can also use Stitch. Plus, they have plenty of samples and links to design system docs to help you make the most out of the tool, even if you aren't a UX designer. Claude Design is the newest tool on this list, and it has a lot of hype surrounding it, mainly because it's helping non-designers go from a rough idea to a working prototype within one conversation. Claude Design is able to create a functioning prototype for you from your conversation, which you can keep refining in real time. That means you can chat with Claude to create something like a contact form for your website and start testing its functionality within that conversation. Once you're happy with the layout, you can download your design and upload it directly to your website or hosting platform. We actually have a video showing exactly how to do that right here. It's easy, it's fast, and it's flexible. Well, mostly flexible. Claude still can't create images for you. You can upload screenshots, photos, or your logo if you want Claude to use them, but you'll have to create these on a separate platform. Also, Claude Design is currently only available on Claude Pro and Max plans, which start at $20 per month. Now, if you need to create landing pages, presentations, or other interactive elements that you want to send to clients, Claude Design is perfect. It has a very short learning curve, and you can take whatever you build, preview it, and share it with minimal effort. To really maximize your time and tokens, here are a couple of prompting tips you can use with any of the tools I talked about today. I'll drop them down in the description box along with the examples, so you can come back later if you want them. First, tell the AI what to avoid. Constraints push the AI away from its lazy default pattern. Telling it what you don't want can actually go far, especially when you're still in the brainstorming phase. Number 2, ask for imperfections. AI is trained to produce perfect, glossy images, and sometimes it does that so well that the images look a little bit fake. Ask the AI to add elements like grain or a motion blur to keep things imperfect and avoid that uncanny valley look. Number 3, steal language from designers. This is especially helpful for working with tools like Claude Design or Stitch. Instead of make this look professional, write minimal layout, this color on a white single column layout with 80 pixel vertical padding between sections. This works for images as well. Prompting Nano Banana with a woman in a cafe will get you a very different result than candid medium shot of a woman in a quiet Paris cafe at golden hour, shot on a 50mm lens, shallow depth of field, soft film grain, warm highlights, and muted shadows. AI models were trained on this visual language, so it responds to it very well. Now, AI should never replace the whole design process. Use AI for speed and iteration, to get ideas out of your own head, or to help fill a gap in your skills. Find the tools that fit into your workflow, and when you're ready, you can use Hosting or Horizons to put them all together in a website of your own. Let me know in the comments down below which AI design tools you're going to use first. And if you want to see some of them in action, make sure to check out this video on our AI design challenge. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.